By the way, I have to tell you that I watched the hostages come back today, and they look like Holocaust survivors. They were in horrible condition. They were emaciated. It looked like many years ago, the Holocaust survivors.
The U.S. Department of Justice just declared war on Hamas, and not just in Gaza. And for months, Hamas terrorists have been murdering civilians in Israel. Their foot soldiers here in the U.S. have been chanting for genocide, tearing down hostage posters and blocking Jewish students from getting to class. And they thought they could do this without consequences. Well, that ends today. The DOJ just launched Joint Task Force October 7, or JTF 10-7, in an all-out federal offensive to hunt down, prosecute, and dismantle Hamas's network, both globally and right here in the United States. And let me tell you something. If you're in the U.S. funding Hamas, inciting violence, or openly supporting terrorism, your time is about to be up. Because Trump's new DOJ is coming after you. This isn't just a political statement. This is an active counterterrorism operation that's about to transpire. And here's what JTF 10-7 is up to. They're prosecuting the October 7 terrorists, and capital punishment is on the table. They're hunting down Hamas leaders, seeking arrest and extradition of Ali Baraka, Khalid Mash'al, and every other coward terrorist hiding in Qatar. And they're cutting off Hamas's U.S. funding. USAID is getting cracked wide open, and there's billions that went out the door to Hamas, including that cement they used to build the tunnels. And Treasury's tracking every dollar followed through fake charities. They're cracking down on the Hamas supporters here in the U.S., but especially on those college campuses. And they're arresting Hamas enablers. And if you were chanting Intifada in the streets, harassing Jewish students, or posting terrorist propaganda online, enjoy your new little sexy FBI file. And for months, these mobs have been celebrating terrorism in broad daylight. But I'm here to tell you that now Trump's federal government is treating them like the terrorists they are. Now, I want to start with the FBI crackdown. JTF 10-7 isn't just looking into Hamas funding. They're actively going to start hunting down every single person connected to this terror network. The FBI isn't just starting from scratch. They've already compiled lists. They're flagging banks, transactions, tracking phones, looking at records, and identifying operatives within the United States as we speak. This isn't just some random investigation. What you're seeing here is the gears in motion for a full system counterterrorism takedown in motion. So if you thought you were safe running a nonprofit, funneling cash quietly to Hamas, guess what? They're looking into you. If you thought your WhatsApp chats coordinating protests weren't being monitored, think again. If you chanted Intifada in the streets, your name is now going to be added to a federal watch list. So let me paint a little picture of what you can expect this to look like. Early morning FBI raids as that intel comes in. SWAT teams serving federal counterterrorism warrants. Laptops confiscated. Accounts frozen. And a one-way ticket to Trump's new federal court. And if I had to guess, I would say the FBI's top counterterrorism agents are going to be investigating all these U.S.-based Hamas supporters. The Treasury Department's likely going to be shutting down foreign bank accounts used to finance this terror the moment they're picked up. And U.S. attorneys under Trump's new regime are going to be bringing charges under terrorism laws. And Homeland Security, tracking those individuals coming into the U.S. and having a deeper dive into who needs to be deported. Aaron Cohen translation. The U.S. is finally treating Hamas's American network like the terror cell that it is. And I want to be clear, some of these Hamas-supporting freaks are about to have a really bad day. If you're an American citizen helping Hamas, you could be facing serious prison time. If you're a foreign student inciting terrorism, you're likely going to get deported. The Aaron Cohen Show is sponsored by the Cherries Deep Concealment holster. This is the same holster I trained Keanu on for the John Wick franchise. This thing runs BWB, or below the waistband, means there is zero digging into your gut, and this holster will never fall off you because it runs below the waistband. Also, lightning fast draw with just a little bit of training. Hit the link down in the description to order one of these bad boys. They ship next day. Zero lead time with these things now. They ship next day. Lightning fast draw. Fits all double stacked 9 and 40 Glocks. Fully adjustable clip and ambidextrous lefties. You're covered. Hit the link down in the description. Grab one of these bad boys. And finally, carry with comfort and total concealment. Now I want to hit these campuses a little bit deeper. For far too long, Hamas's U.S. supporters have been untouchable under this Biden administration. It's been a joke. We've seen these campuses get burned down. Jews aren't allowed into certain places. Just a nightmare. They shut down bridges, they stormed federal buildings, intimidating Jews on campus, and they acted like they were protected because they were. Biden didn't do a thing about these idiots. And guess what? Now they're on DOJ's radar. There's a lot of digital footprint out there. And I want to be clear, when you storm campus buildings, blockade Jewish students, and chant for intifada or death to the Jews, you're not protesting. You're participating in terrorist incitement. And under federal law, aiding and abetting foreign terrorist organizations carries the same weight as direct terrorism charges. And that could mean prison time for these idiots, deportation for those foreign students, and federal indictments if there's any money trail connecting them to Hamas. So in my opinion, universities are already starting to scramble. Administrators are now cooperating with federal authorities to help identify these supporters on their campuses. I bet you that's already happening. So you think you can just talk? Columbia student was arrested for violent threats against Jews. A Berkeley professor openly praised the October 7th attack. And these people are no different, in my opinion, than Hamas terrorists, and DOJ now sees that under Trump. And finally, they're going to start to get treated like it. Columbia, Harvard, UCLA, every school where Hamas activists have been rioting and harassing Jewish students, every campus where calls for another October 7th have been blasted through megaphones. They're all under scrutiny now, and let me remind you, I was at the UCLA riot, dressed up as one of these idiots, and dusted off the old keffiyeh while I was hanging out with some friends of mine from the law enforcement community. Have a look. What's up, guys? Aaron Cohen here, counterterrorism analyst, law enforcement instructor. I'm down here at UCLA right now. Have the opportunity to spend a minute here with LASD, some of my associates. And so here's what's coming. Loss of student visas, federal charges for the incitement of terrorism, investigations into university funding for Hamas-linked groups. The days of these Hamas mobs running wild on college campuses is over. But I want to give you some final thoughts and wrap it with this. This isn't just about arresting a few Hamas leaders or freezing some bank accounts. This one here is a battle for Western civilization. That's really how I see it. And if you don't crush this Hamas-supporting garbage movement right now, this will metastasize and spread like a disease. We've already saw what's happened on these campuses. First, it's protests. Next, it's people opening fire here on U.S. soil. And I think everybody's going to be coming out and backing this JTF 10-7 task force. Because enough's enough. There's no neutrality with this. There's no both sides with this argument. You're either for civilization or you're for terrorism. And Hamas isn't just a terrorist group. It's an ideology of genocide and destruction. And the only way to defeat an ideology is by crushing it completely. There's no funding, no propaganda, no safe spaces on campuses, no visas for Hamas sympathizers. I say shut it all down. And Trump is doing exactly what needs to be done. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You think Trump's handling this the right way by putting his new DOJ out, on all these terrorism supporters. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do me a favor. If you enjoyed the episode, share it. Mainstream media isn't going to cover it the way I will. As more of this new task force continues to emerge with new details, new shutdowns, and new arrests, I'm going to bring them to you here on the show. I want to thank you guys for watching this one. Hey, if you guys are a fan of the show, do me a favor. Join my Season 1 sponsorship team. Help keep the lights on in the studio. Our show is completely supported by you, the fans and the supporters. Hit the link down in the description. Grab yourself a Season 1 sponsorship package. They start at $25. And join my mission to continue to combat that garbage anti-Israel misinformation and help support the show. Hit the link down in the description. Grab yourself a mini sponsorship package. Join my Season 1 support team. Appreciate you guys. I'm Aaron Cohen. You're watching The Aaron Cohen Show, and I'll be back shortly on the next one.